Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blockable right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we will take a look at all the crypto charts. First and foremost, we're going to start up with XRP. Let's see where XRP is at the moment, and then we'll take a look at XDC, and I've also had some requests as well with Velo and Stronghold as well. The two tokens built on stellar lumens, obviously changing the financial industry, and they're also targeting huge markets worth trillions as well. So some small cap, medium sort of gems to be had, in my opinion. Now, let's have a look at XRP. So again, literally, I do not alter any of these charts anymore. I've left it where it is now. So you can see the bottom of this apex here. Okay, we're in the order block here, as this indicates right here. So in terms of the linear chart, we have left the station. Okay, that doesn't mean we're going to rally up and, take out all-time highs anytime soon. However, what it does mean is that we are now officially in a bull market, in my opinion. Yes, we've rallied since the apex for 2 or 3 weeks. We stole that here, and then we get this red weekly candle. So we're showing signs of weakness. Obviously, we wick down there again into the order block where the liquidity is. However, this week, we are now trading back above the 200-day moving average, which is important because that is an institutionally recognized indicator, the 200 moving average. Okay, so it looks as if we're heading up to this order block here, which is again where the liquidity is. So this is where a lot of stop losses would be if, for example, any of the day traders, retail traders would be short in the market. This is where they'd be putting, typically where they would be putting the stop losses. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned is, again, price always likes and gravitates towards highs. So for me, once we take out this sort of region here, you can see these 3 peaks here, 1, 2, 3. So we're currently challenging these 3 peaks. So that weekly close here is coming in around 75 cents. So that's our sort of first sort of barrier or hurdle that we need to overcome in order to start challenging these 3 peaks here. So you got 1, 2, 3. And the height of this peak here on the weekly is about $1.56, shall we call it. So there are your 2 hurdles that we need to kind of overcome before we can start taking out all-time highs and, reaching up over $3 for XRP. I do believe by the end of the year, I looked at total market cap 3 yesterday in terms of the altcoins. Now, the altcoins look really well. I do believe we'll close towards the end of the year at all-time highs. Now, whether or not XRP, XDC and the other suppressed ISO coins can actually take out these weekly highs before the end of the year, who is to know? But certainly going into January of 2025, best believe that all these cryptos, especially XRP and XDC, XLM, they'll all rally around the same time, in my opinion, and that's when the market will fly. Then that's when you get your 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x, depending on which coin you're holding. Now, I just want to bring your attention to this article as well, because to some extent I do agree with it. So this was published, I think this was published today, 4 minutes ago, by this guy called Zoltan Varde. I don't know who he is. Obviously he's a contributor to Cointelegraph.com. So Bitcoin's bull rally will continue another 350 days, which is important again for the alts, the XRPs, the XDCs, Velo, Stronghold, whatever you name it, because obviously, we are synchronized to some degree. Yes, the altcoins are lagging behind Bitcoin, but this is a good indication. Okay, and I'm just coming back down here now. Obviously, he's given his sort of insight as to why Bitcoin will last 350 days. So he believes Bitcoin is now in the second phase of the bull cycle. Bybit. Okay, so you've got all these sort of, obviously he's marking these sort of vertical lines going up here, and obviously he's noticed a pattern, how long these bear markets typically last in cycles, and also with the bull cycles as well. This guy here tweeting that bull market is only 42.5% through this cycle. Now, the biggest influx or the biggest sort of price gains will come towards the end of this progression in the bull run. Obviously, we've got a gradual sort of increase. Bitcoin has already set and exceeded previous all-time highs. So Bitcoin is doing really well. I know we're floating around that sort of $60,000 mark, which is still really good in my opinion, but Bitcoin for me needs to begin closing, well, not closing, but definitely, you know, having that 100k mark in sight, whether or not we're trading around that 80, 85k, and then we're looking for that impulse then going into the end of the year to close really well. That would be absolutely bullish in my opinion here. So institutions are mainly driving the 2024 Bitcoin rally. I agree. You got this Bitcoin ETF launch here. We've had that slight dip here to take out this low here. So this is what it's done. Was that through February? I'm guessing it's through February here because we've got January, March here. So I'm guessing it dipped through February, going off this chart. And then since February, Bitcoin's been pretty much in a bull market. Yes, we've had those like healthy corrections to grab liquidity and also to present buying opportunities as well for retail and institutional investors, depending on, you know, how well you are at hodling your bag. Bitcoin again, net inflows as well continues to grow, so there's a lot of demand now for Bitcoin, and not just Bitcoin, altcoins as well. So we're in a good place now. So let's go over to, we'll also have a look at XRP Bitcoin as well to see how this is going, because we've noted before that we've never really experienced XRP Bitcoin chart where we're printing consecutive green candles here. So I believe this has only happened once or twice before. Without going back, that's just having a quick glance. Obviously, if you guys are spending times on the charts yourself, you could tell me, maybe drop it in the comments. But we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're currently printing our 6th green candle here over on this chart. And again, we are on the order block detector here, fulfilling orders. Now, we've already had that liquidation spike here. Obviously, we've retraced to the bottom of that order block, but that is still bullish in my opinion for this particular chart. 1, because we're at the order block where the liquidity is. 2, we're actually above the 200-day institutional moving average. Okay, and we've taken this liquidity above, so what we're doing is clearing the path for XRP to make that big impulse against Bitcoin. Now, for me, we need to be actually challenging these supports, because down here would have been support around this sort of area here, these weekly closes, and also this one here. We need to be getting up to this box here. So that is the first sort of ceiling of resistance, if you will. Once we crack this sort of level, you know, literally we can actually fly up here. So let me just clone that line. We can actually start flying up to where these other highs are in the chart. So I'd expect around here, obviously got 2 liquidation spikes. So once we crack this first horizontal line, we're going to be running up massively here. Now I can just measure this here. Obviously this is what I'd expect towards the end of the year. So this is against Bitcoin, bear in mind. This isn't against XRP, against USD. This is the Bitcoin, okay. So XRP really, towards the end of the year, if we can flip this in the next month or two, especially through September with the rate cuts and that $125 million fine, which is hopefully going to get paid by Ripple Labs, we'll flip this sort of resistance and then we can start flying up here and again challenging this second resistance before we can make these sort of mammoth moves here where we create 1 peak, 2 peak, 1 peak, 2 peak. So once we break those 2 sort of resistance levels, then it's game time. And then I would expect this upper yellow line here to be broken at the end of December going into January. That's when we will have liftoff. And this is the kind of move that I'm looking for here. Now this is the log charts. I'm showing you the linear charts. Okay, I know I keep saying I'm going to show you the log charts, but for whatever reason I've not got around to it. Because predominantly I do like to see where retail traders are buying and selling their bags, basically, because I'm dealing on smaller scales. Obviously this is a macro view, so it's not really, I don't really have to go on the macro view because I know what's going to basically happen. Again, you can see 36 weeks from halving, boom, 36 weeks from halving, you actually get that retest, then boom, 36 weeks. Whether or not you can break out prior to January, when this is set to break out officially. But even if we did break out and took out, this sort of high here around $2, I'd still expect XRP to roll back over to around that sort of 55 cent mark, retest the apex on this log chart, and then go from there. Okay, so that is XRP USD. We just had XRP Bitcoin. We'll go on to, we're going to cover Velo as well now, right? Because I said we'd do Velo and Stronghold, these sort of stellar tokens, if you will. Now, the opportunity still lies massively. In fact, Velo's doing very, very well. We are leaving the buy order block for Velo, so you sort of had your green signal in this box here, indicating you want to accumulate this bag. And that also indicates that you're getting Velo at a discounted rate as well. We are literally just hovering above 1 cent now, so in my opinion, we're still a really good buy opportunity. Yes, you could have bought the bounce here off this red trend line coming through here. So you got this doji candle here, which is when we got the explosion. We come back down to retest that trend line. We've had one bounce, got to the top of the order block, rolled over, not enough volume. And then we've had that doji again, so we've bounced off. Last time we got a doji, that's when we ran up. Okay, so we got a doji. We're running up now, so I'd expect another 2, 3, 4 green weekly candles for Velo now to start taking out this sort of high. So I do expect some good gains from Velo in the interim as well. So again, I've not checked these charts. I've checked it, obviously I keep on top of XRP, XDC regularly. But Velo, even though it's in my watch list, I don't really cover. I tend to stay away from the charts now unless I'm doing videos. So where are we looking here? So weekly, this sort of local weekly close here is around 110%, which again would put us in that number, 110%, that come up with XRP Bitcoin chart as well. So that could be our next move now. Once we get settlement, maybe, or when Ripple pays a fine, we should see it like 110% rise for that resistance. And something similar like this could happen on Velo, because again, once we crack this sort of level, this weekly high, then we're pretty much on like Donkey Kong, and we'll be looking at getting up to this next order block here, which is when you'd probably, looking at trading, maybe exiting some positions. If you are trading, if you're just hodling to the end game, ignore that, okay? But if you're trading, obviously there's a lot of sell pressure in this order block here, so this would be your target. Maybe wait for it to roll over. It might retest the resistance as the new support, so we'll penetrate the yellow line, go up to that blue box, fall back down, retest, and then we can make the next move up, which would be in the new year, in my opinion. So again, once we crack that, look at this. Look at all this scale here. This is just crazy. And then obviously the end game will be targeting those highest weekly closes. Now that's just targeting the previous data. Now a lot of crypto coins like XRP, XDC are obviously going to exceed all-time highs, just like Bitcoin has done already in this bull market. So you could ultimately hold on, and you could go to like, I don't know, $2.20, $2.60, $2.80, $3. I think we have plotted the Fibonacci lines in the past. I mean, I could do a rough Fibonacci as well, sort of targets. We could somewhere around there. Obviously that's not 100% accurate, but this is for illustration purposes. If you wanted to be dead accurate, obviously you'd have to zoom in, stretch this out to exactly the bottom. So I'd say roughly that's around the bottom. Okay, so if we was to measure up here, look at the gains to be had here. So Fibonacci to Velo, we're looking at around is that $7? So that'd be massive, and obviously we're trading just above 1 cent. We are targeting $1 trillion markets here with Velo and Stronghold, guys. So I'm not going to rule that out, but to be on the safe side, if you have got a Velo bag, I'll be taking a lot of your bags here around that sort of $1.70 mark. $1.70, sell like 50, 60, 70% of your bags. Keep a small portion to remain in the markets, and then you can run that bag up. You can start. These are sort of your targets here. If you depends how brave you are and how much risk you want to take on. So here, $4.50. Here, about $6.20. and then, you know, you can sell remaining in your bag at $7.20, and then you can sail off into the sunset. So there we are, guys. That is Velo. Where is Stronghold now? I've not done Stronghold for a long time. I might have even taken it off because, again, I don't know. I've not. Still in the watch list. Once we load up, got hiccups. Right, what have we got marked out here then? These are order blocks. Wow. So, again, this is all OTA. So I've actually not altered this for at least a few, like 2, 3, 4 weeks maybe. So again, it's amazing how the fact I've not actually altered any TA on this chart is still respecting the technical analysis, because again, we've got the 200-day moving average here, and then we've got this sort of order block that I've put in myself where I believe there's a lot of liquidity, because this is where we made this impulse 1, and then I've just taken the sort of weekly close for that green candle, yeah, and then I've marked it down where we've retraced to and then where we've taken off. So in my opinion, it doesn't even look like Stronghold SEX is actually going to get down to this green order block where you would be able to get your hands on Stronghold at a very, 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 very low price. Now, if that's the case, I will be backing the truck up into Stronghold, because again, they're targeting $1 trillion industries. Now, let's just have a look at this, because there could be a possibility that Stronghold is actually breaking down. Now, we've had this green doji. Again, I love a doji, so again, that's the weekly candle you get before there's a big move, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. Now, this looks negative in my opinion, because we've broken outside of my box where I've actually drawn this order block. Now, whether or not Stronghold is going to sort of bounce off here, we could visit this sort of red trend line and bounce, because this is what we've been doing ever since May. We've been flirting, we've been dipping below the red, then we're trading above, then we're dipping below, then we're uncertain. So, like, Stronghold obviously wants to make a big move now. So it is difficult to say with Stronghold. If you hold a bag already, continue holding. If you're looking for new capital or looking to acquire Stronghold, I wouldn't be going all in with your dry powder. Maybe put like 50% in your money in now, because we have taken out these sort of lows, especially with that previous week there, taking out liquidity. We could roll over in this green order block down here, which this indicator, it could suggest. So again, caution getting into Stronghold, but ultimately, if you do get your bag filled down there, you're guaranteed to be, you know, probably a multi-millionaire if you've got like £2,000, £3,000, £4,000, because I do expect Stronghold to absolutely run up, similar to Velo as well. We've talked about our Velo, that's like 150, 160x to go. I think it's about 100 and I don't know, it's about 180x to the previous all-time high. So we're talking triple digit times in your money. Like, it's just absolutely phenomenal as well. So this is also a great token. I don't really cover it much because I don't particularly get much interest. There's a lot more interest with obviously XRP, XDC, some of the bigger ISO coins. Yeah, so that is Stronghold, guys. If you've got any other coins that you want me to cover, make sure you leave it in the comment section, and I'll try get some videos out surrounding those particular vids. But yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do what you gotta do, guys. I've been the Blobble. I shall see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Blobble over and out.